It's the first show of the new year. What we're reviewing today? I see what you do. Silent Night.
The Chris and Chris Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Chris and Chris Show. I'm Chris with a Catalina. See?
Fuck, yeah, I'm Chris with a...
Joel Kinnaman.
Didn't prepare one. Kidman K, yes, thank you. I was going to go with Krampus. For some reason, my brain was giving us Krampus.
It's not Christmas anymore, you can't do it.
Yeah. But yes, Happy New Year.
Yeah, hope everyone had a good Yuletide festive season and New Year and all that stuff. Hope you got lots of nice presents, film-related presents.
Definitely.
Have you wore your t-shirt I got you yet?
I haven't actually, no.
Oh, fuck, I thought you would have that straight on.
Keeping it for a special occasion.
Yes, it was for a party.
So people would be like, what's that? That's
enough. Yeah, so this week we're all going to take a look at Silent Night, like we said on the last show, but it's mainly going to be a wrap-up of films that came out last year that we didn't talk about, because we don't really do capsule reviews and stuff anymore, and a look forward to all the shite we're not going to be watching next year.
the disaster that is Hollywood 2024.
Mm-hmm. Like, out of the list I've got, there's like 2 that I'm interested in saying. I've got about like 12 movies.
Oh, God.
Actually more. Fuck. Before we get started, I wanted to give a shout out because David Soul died yesterday. Hutch from Starsky and Hutch.
Really? Well, I
Age
didn't
80.
say that.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, good innings though, 80. That's
Well, that's it, yeah. Yeah, bless him.
The Chris and Chris Show.
So Silent Night came out last year, obviously. What's the runtime? Shit, I forgot to write down the runtime.
Oh, yes, we're a bit all over the place.
We're a bit out of sorts, folks. We took a week off.
1 hour, 44 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 1 hour 40 something, yeah. So yeah, of course, directed by John Woo, his first American movie since, was it that Ben Affleck movie? The Paycheck movie?
It's like going back to, Christ, what is it, like 2000 something?
Yeah, it's something like that, like 2007 or something, yeah. Because I think like Redcliffe came out the end of the 2000s.
Paycheck, that's the film, isn't it? Yeah, 2003 it was.
What, fuck me, was it? I thought it was fucking later than that. Jesus.
Yeah. So that the last American film, anyway.
Yeah, last American film, yeah. I never saw Paycheck, though. I always heard it was a bit shit.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, and was never tempted to.
No. So Silent Night stars Joel Kinnaman as Brian Godlock. Which I wonder, is that a real surname? It's just an amazing surname.
It's very over the top, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Catalina Sandino Marino, that's a lovely name, as Saya Godlock. Harold Torres as Player. And Scott Muscudi, a.k.a. Kid Cudi, as Detective Dennis Vassell. What's the story, sir?
It's about a fella who gets his throat shot out after giving chase to the people who killed his son. Mm-hmm. He recovers and turns into the Punisher.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And the gimmick, of course, is there's no dialogue besides, like, you know, background chatter and stuff like that. Radio chatter. But there's no actual dialogue. It's all told through images and sound. So, just overall, what did you think? Because for the first we were watching it at the same time. About half an hour in, you messaged us like, oh, fuck, I'm getting bored.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, overall, I did not like this movie.
Well, I did, so fuck you. That's a review.
Sure done. Yeah, it just, the visuals weren't good enough to carry the movie without the dialogue, is kind of my overall assessment of the movie.
I guess visually it doesn't really stand apart that much. Like, there was a few moments that I thought visually it stuck out, but for me, as I watched it with headphones on, because I just had a feeling that with it being dialogueless, like the Foley and the gun sound effects were going to be especially amped up. And if you watch it with headphones on, it's like a crazy experience.
Right.
I can imagine it just like, if you watched it, if I saw it in the cinema, I'd probably feel the same way as well, like watching it through a booming sound system. Just every sound just feels exaggerated, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, because obviously I just watched it on the TV, like. Yeah, I just thought, don't you think, like, sometimes it's just very awkward when other people aren't talking? Mm-hmm. Like, I kind of wish they had found a different way of doing it or something, or I think the movie, for me, and it probably would have changed the total outlook of the movie, but if he had, like, trained up, so his kid got killed, he trained up for, like, a year, and his wife was, like, leaving him because he was obsessed about it, and there was like conversations going on through like the first 30 minutes of the movie, and then he got his throat blown out, and then like the last hour of the movie was silent. Yeah. Like that maybe could have like connected us more to the characters and stuff, but I just felt it really hurt it, like the fact that he's like quiet from the very start, and his wife's like a strange mute as well, and stuff.
I think the part that hurt it the most for me was like the cop character really didn't have that much to do because he couldn't talk.
Yeah,
like in any other movie, he'd be like the cop, like thinking something's up with him, looking for information, putting it together, talking to his colleagues. But because he can't do that, he just kind of turns up and like stands around for a bit, and then he suddenly gets into the action at the end. I'm like, that's the weakest part for me. Yeah. Like sadly, he didn't have that much to do. Although I did see a cool quote that when he got offered the role, all he requested was, "Can I fire 2 guns at once?" And John Woo was like, "Of course you can."
Nice.
I was like, "That's a," and he does. I was waiting for his moment, and I was like, "Oh, I bet he was over the moon when he saw that."
Yeah, you would want to do that, wouldn't you? If you're starring in a John Woo movie, like to be fair. I mean, me personally, I would want a big ass silver shotgun. Like
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, there was a lot of shotgun action at the end. I thought you'd have appreciated that. The big one shot up the stairs fight at the end.
Yeah, no, there's definitely. I mean, okay, so stepping away from being brutal on it, there's some good stuff about the movie. I liked the idea of him like training himself at home, like YouTube videos and stuff. Yeah, because it is literally what you would do, wouldn't it, these days? You wouldn't go external. You would just go in your basement or your garage or something, and you would just be like watching YouTube videos and
pretty much gives himself a year, doesn't he, till the next year's Christmas Eve. I do like it's a very badass like Punisher type moment where he just writes on Christmas Eve, "Kill them all." That's cool. But I'm not like I'm not saying it's the second coming of Hard Boiled or something. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting that. I didn't go into it thinking, here we go, he's back, it's going to be a new classic. Just for what it was, and just seeing John Woo making an American movie with like, because everything's moved on a lot since the Hard Boiled and stuff. So I was just interested in seeing a John Woo movie in a modern context, and I was kind of that's what made us interested in it, really.
Yeah, visually there's some really nice bits. I liked all the stuff with the car, like how when he first gets in the car and does like the drive around. And he's doing the shooting out of the car, and he's like using the car as a weapon against 2 people at one point, and all that stuff. And then obviously visiting like the bad guys have like this lair, basically.
Ridiculous.
Want of a better word. The bad guy lair, and he's got, is it like skulls or something all over they're like hanging down from
I think so.
They're like Christmas decorations, but the skulls sort of thing. He's got a badass lair player. So like there's some real like nice visual moments in this movie.
There is. I really like that just for like the ultra slow motion towards the end where like players sort of female like hanger-on just starts firing that machine gun. It's in that super glossy slow motion. Yeah. And with like she's like backlit with loads of dust behind her. I thought, wow, that's fucking visually striking. And that bit, of course, near the end, speaking of action bits, where he's wrestling with a guy who's got him in a bear hug, and he like drops with the gun and shoots him in the chin. that bit, I was like, rewind that.
I was a bit disappointed at the CGI violence, though, I guess. Like,
I was expecting that.
Yeah, I guess it's like what everyone does now, but I just thought. I was hoping to see squibs and stuff.
I think there was some squibs, but for like the more brutal stuff, it was definitely CG blood and CG gore and stuff, which is I guess you just got to accept that. I suppose it's
a standard now.
Cost effective, time saving, and all that stuff. It's a shame though.
I guess it means they can remove the CGI as well. If there's any like censorship problems.
Well, exactly. That is a benefit as well. Yeah, you don't have to just butcher your film. You can just literally tone it down. But I'm not really. It's one of those films that's kind of hard to review because, like I said, it's very straightforward. It's got some fun action, but it's just the gimmick is just that it's dialogueless. So it's kind of just your average revenge type movie, like a Death Wish kind of movie, but there's no dialogue and it's directed by John Woo. I would say give it a watch.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. Just go into it like kind of there's no dialogue. I think it helps if you understand that's like a thing right from the start, probably. I don't know, I think if you went into it without any expectation, people might be waiting. Like, they might get 30 minutes into the movie and go, what the fuck? What am I watching here?
Yeah, they suddenly realise no one spoke yet.
Yeah, so it probably helps to, like, know what you're getting into.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Joel Kinnaman, like, I've not seen him in much, obviously, apart from the RoboCop reboot, but I thought he did well.
And the Suicide Squad movies.
Nah, don't count them.
He was still in them.
It didn't happen. No, but yeah, I thought he was really good, though. Mm-hmm. I thought he acted it well, and you got enough out of his like portrayal in his face and stuff.
He definitely sold the like grief and just trauma of the whole thing for like the first 45 minutes when he's just kind of wandering around getting drunk before he fully decides to just work out and tool himself up and stuff. And I like as well how he's not like a killer machine. Like the first time he tries to kidnap one of the guys, it goes tits up almost, like he almost gets killed. The like really brutal kind of strangle fight that they have, basically, what they're just trying to like, they're not trying to necessarily win, they're just trying to like not die, basically, in the fight, the pair of them. Yeah, pretty much,
So it's nice,
because that was kind of my problem with that Bruce Willis, Eli Roth Death Wish remake. Like, he kind of fucked up once, but then the next scene was him, like, once again, looking at a YouTube video, cleaning his gun while Back in Black is blaring on the soundtrack. And I'm like, come on.
It's too, like, cool.
It's too cool.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't like, glorify, like, being a vigilante. It should be like, being a vigilante is a very, very bad thing. Yeah, but
the thing is, I like the mix of both. I like it when it shows that, because, it can lead to worse things. If the whole, the story of a lot of films I do, like, you're just becoming one of them type of thing.
Yeah.
But I also like to have the therapeutic revenge as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I like a bit of both.
Yeah. I can't believe his missus went off and joined the bad guys, though. What was all that about?
It just didn't look like it. Yeah.
I just got confused. At one point, I was like, is that his wife? Like, on the bed with Claire? Like, is that what they're doing? I don't know. I got a bit confused, because at one point, I'm sure it's supposed to be, like, almost... the character is like seeing it in his head or something. Kinnaman, I'll have to go back and watch it at some point, but it's almost like the lady turned even more into looking like his wife, and I was like, I straight away thought, nah, that's probably not the case, but I thought, I caught myself thinking, is she actually just with the bad guys? No.
That'll be a twist.
She just went and joined them, but I was like, oh no, but I'm sure for like one scene they might have like shot the wife actress in that, like on the bed or something in the but like I said, it's supposed to be like in his mind or something, or something, I don't know, but either that, I just imagined it.
Yeah, it's maybe a Freddie Mercury in hand.
I was gonna say, it could easily be that as well. But yeah, I thought maybe more could have been done with the texting and stuff. Like, I thought it was kind of done ham-fistedly, and like maybe they could have used that a bit more in the movie. So there's more to follow along, the texting and stuff. Yeah,
like I would have wanted a more of a... it would have been, repeating old stories and old ground and stuff, but I would have liked a bit more relationship between him and the cop. Mm-hmm. Like a killer type of scenario, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they could have used text to communicate.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah.
Because I could see people struggling, like, with the first 45 minutes. It would just take a while to get going, and when you got no dialogue, it's kind of like, okay, when's everything going to kick off? And it kind of doesn't really get to his full mission until the last half an hour, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think, its biggest problem is just you don't really feel that much for the characters, really. You understand that he's lost a son and he must be torn up and all the rest, but you kind of like, you don't buy into his character so much because he never talks or emotes, apart from like anger and revenge. And then the cop, you're kind of the same. You don't really feel much for the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie though.
It's a nice experiment to do.
Yeah,
because there is movies. I remember George Miller saying that's what he wanted to do with Fury Road. Pretty much, like, it's a movie you could watch if you didn't speak English without subtitles, and you'd still understand the story. Like just telling a story with visuals. Like it does. It's a good idea.
Yeah. So, is there like particular highlight scene for you?
I just like the. Like, I liked all the like you were saying, like him training himself and fucking up, and then fucking up his first mission. I always like that kind of stuff in vigilante movies. Like, I always like that bit in the first Death Wish where, like, I think it's not even when he shoots someone for the first time. He like goes out with a sock full of like quarters.
Oh yeah.
And smashes a guy in the face, and then comes home and he's kind of like into it. He's got the power trip and stuff, but when he shoots someone, he comes home and throws up. So I kind of like seeing that side of it rather than just like a Punisher type like stoic hard ass. But I like the whole final action scene, especially that bit where what leads up to it, where he's just skidding around in his car when there's like a shootout between the bad guys and the police. I like that bit. Yeah. All the car stuff was really good, actually. Well, it was nice to see cars just smashing into each other again. Yeah,
definitely the car stuff's the highlight. And probably like the first bit where he just crushes those two guys against the wall.
yeah, that's
the
good.
Car. Yeah. It's like really brutal and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's probably undoubtedly the car stuff.
I really like the score as well. It had a really unique score for an action movie today.
Yeah, definitely.
I liked it a lot. Yeah. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as like these American action movies go, it's better than Broken Arrow.
Do you reckon, yeah? Well, yeah, I suppose it's been a long time since I've seen Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow's fine, but there's about like 2 bits in that movie where you go, oh yeah, fuck, John Woo directed this. Yeah. Because it was kind of, I think, him trying to do, like, see if he could do a glossy, big budget American style action movie. So there's not really a lot of Woo stuff in that film.
And obviously everyone's just horrifically miscast in that movie as well. That kind of hurts it.
Kind of, yeah. Although Travolta's fucking amazing in that. He's so fucking funny. You can tell he's just like eating a ham sandwich between takes, basically.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I would recommend checking it out. Like I said, we're both giving kind of opposing views, but it's one of those films where you should just check out and see for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would recommend watching it just from a sort of like we said, experimental point of view, but I'm not sure I'll ever watch it again. Like, I kind of disliked it from start to finish. To be really
go into it obviously expecting action, but don't go into it expecting like The Killer or Hard Boiled Mark II or anything like that.
No,
it's not that. But there is flares though. Don't get us wrong. There is flares of John Woo old school style, which I like now and then. It's
almost an interesting thought experiment that I had while I was watching it. I was thinking, like, what would this movie be like if it was made in Hong Kong, like during the 90s or something, or the late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah,
with like somebody like Tony Leung as the main character or something, or it would it would have worked more.
Yeah,
maybe. As a movie, without the dialogue and stuff. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about that. Maybe it's just the Americanness of it that kind of like spoils it a little bit. Because some of the flashbacks and stuff were a bit schmaltzy as well.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, there's a certain element as well of it that's like white bread family man who has to take revenge on the foreign gangsters. And I'm like, it gets a bit like that fucking. What was that other movie that was like that? Oh, I can't remember. I may be thinking of the Bruce Willis Death Wish. I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that as well. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, it would have been interesting if it was just like a Hong Kong actor whose kid gets killed at the start and by, like, some Hong Kong, like, bad guys, and then he gets revenge on them. Like, have it be some white rich guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have it be some white rich guy with a beard who speaks really over the top, like in most Hong Kong movies and stuff. Yeah. Just have Richard Norton. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, Richard Norton. Tony Leung, Richard Norton.
He runs through the fence and kills the kid, and he just stops and looks back and goes, painful.
And everyone's like, is this supposed to be funny? And though, Chow Yun-fat plays the copper, but he's tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second or third hard-boiled movie.
Yeah.
That never got made, that we talked about last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, give it a watch, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems to, it kind of flopped in the cinema, which is a shame.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Like, I think it might work better on like streaming, I guess, maybe.
It's mental, because I thought it would have at least got made more than it did because it had from the producers of John Wick above the fucking title. And you know how popular the John Wick movies are these days?
Yeah. It's got names attached to it, hasn't it? Like John Woo and John Wick. You think that would be enough to get people just to sit down and watch it? You
never know. John Woo might direct the next John Wick. That'll be something. Keanu Reeves and John Woo.
Yeah.
Was there? John Woo did post a picture on Instagram recently of him just randomly meeting Andy Lau, so I don't know what they're planning.
Cool. Yeah. It would be cool to see him do more again. Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully this made him want to do more gunplay type stuff, because he's getting up there. He's not going to be directing for that much longer.
No.
Come on, get fucking Chow Yun-fat on the blower. Just do one more with a $50 million budget.
Retired tequila.
Yeah,
has to come out of retirement to track down some big killer or something.
Yeah. To track down Tony Leung's evil brother who killed Tony Leung's character from some shit like that.
Who's murdering babies. They're just like resurrect
they bring back that old plot again. No, it's too dark, John. Even 30 years later, it's too dark.
Chris Show.
All right, then, shall we have a look back at 2023?
Yes.
What's the first film you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, it's been a funny old year for stuff, because obviously I don't think either of us have watched a massive amount
I've
of
seen
movies.
5 movies.
I've seen quite a few more, like, randomly. But I suppose we should start off, and it's insane to me that this was 2023, but Evil Dead Rise was obviously right at the start of the year.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and we both obviously watched that when you're over at mine. Yeah, what can be said about it? We've already kind of touched on it anyway, from memory, I think on the show, right?
I think we've mentioned it in passing, but I don't think we've actually talked about it fully. But honestly, I can barely remember it.
I think, I will say, I don't think it's as bad as it could have been.
No. I probably preferred it over the fucking remake.
Yeah, because there weren't just... It wasn't just a group of people in a cabin again. I'll credit it for trying to do something a bit different, like apartment block and stuff, and they're all trapped in an apartment block, and it was like almost like the outside world didn't exist. It was kind of like The Mist, wasn't it, from memory?
Yeah.
Like there was something going on where they were just trapped within this like apartment block.
And I was pleased to see, because when they first announced it, like, oh, it's Evil Dead, like Deadites, but it's in an apartment block, everyone, including me, was like, that's just Demons 2. So I was glad to see it wasn't just a copy of Demons 2. It's nothing like
no. Yeah, so I did feel like they were at least trying to do something with it. But it's just an unnecessary movie. It could have been any other film. Like, they just slapped the name Evil Dead on it. It could have easily just stood on its own merits.
Yeah, I'm just
been something else.
It's just kind of confusing. I'm like, so where does this exist? Does this exist in the original timeline, the Ash vs. Evil Dead like world, or is it a kind of follow-on to the remake in a loose way, like a loose sequel? I don't know. Or is it just a new Evil Dead movie?
I don't think they know anymore. I think they just want to get bums on seats in the cinema, and it's a way to repurpose the script and put a famous IP on it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's like, even though it's got like Raimi producing, I think Campbell as well, I think all the original producers, like Rob Tabbitt's produced it as well. Like, it's not made for the fans of like the first 3. But that's what Ash vs. Evil Dead was. That was for the hardcore fans. So we got that at least. We got like 3 seasons of a TV show, so I can't complain too much about the new movies.
Yeah, that is like the Evil Dead sort of 3, really is. 4, sorry, I should say.
Yeah, that's kind of all what we wanted, really, just to see Ash again and some go-on goofiness. Yeah. But as for the movie, like, it had its moments, I guess. There was the only bit I really remember is the bit with where he like takes a cheese grater to someone's fucking cough, and that was gross.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
But I just kind of found it dull, and I couldn't wait for it to be over.
The like main character, the mum, or whatever. I thought she was like a great actress. She looked crazy in the makeup.
She looks terrifying, and she's got like one of those insanely wide smiles that's perfect for a deadite. Yeah.
Yeah. So credit, and I thought all the young actors were really good as well.
No, it was just like I said. It was just in general. I was just a bit like Blair.
Yeah. Like it was neither offensive or like massively engaging. It just kind of
didn't really. I wasn't sitting there like groaning, like going, "Oh, this is fucking stupid," or like, "Oh, it's fucking hell." Blah blah blah. It was just like, yeah. Although that whole fucking weird wraparound story was pointless.
The wraparound story.
It started it like with the drone shot instead of the deadite cam, and I was like, that's kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
And then it was just some people at a cabin, and there was a girl possessed, and then at the end you find out how she got possessed, and she was just some woman that appears in the last 5 minutes who gets attacked, and I'm like, why the wraparound stuff?
It's kind of like just that was probably reshoots or something. Somebody was probably like, oh, it's not Evil Dead enough.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and I'm like, because I thought like, oh wait a minute, are they setting up like another movie with this one? Like those characters you see at the start are going to be in the next movie, but I don't fucking know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who's to say?
Yeah, what about you? Next one?
My first one, one I watched the most recently, Infinity Pool, Brandon Cronenberg's David's son, his new movie. I've been meaning to watch his first 2 movies. Is it Antiviral and Possessor? But I haven't got around to watching them yet. But I watched this one.
Yeah,
it's good, but it's weird. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like after it was finished, it's got one of those endings where I was like, "What's the ending signify?" I mean, do you want to know the plot?
Well, probably will watch it. Like, give us this overall outline.
I won't give you the whole plot, but basically, like, it's this couple, like a struggling writer and his girlfriend. They're on staying at this resort, but it's on this like island that's just poverty stricken basically, but there's a big fancy resort in the middle and you're not allowed to leave the compound type of thing, which is based on I was reading that Brandon Cronenberg said he went on a holiday exactly like that, and he said it was the most bizarre holiday ever. Like just being stuck in a fancy resort where everyone around them's like starving and living terribly and stuff. Just weird.
Yeah.
But they meet up with this other couple, Mia Goth's one of them and her husband, and they arrange for them to get out for the day and go for a picnic. But whilst they're out, something bad happens basically, and I'll just leave it at that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a watch.
It's definitely worth the watch. It's a very bizarre. There's some explicitness in there that I was not expecting. Put it that way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that from Maya Goth as well? Because she's not afraid.
Yeah. I mean, without telling you exactly what happens, it's not obviously her doing it, but the implication that she's doing it is like, Jesus.
Right.
And there's like there's a trip out scene that's just kind of insane as well, where you're like, what the fuck was that? What did I see?
Sounds bad.
Yeah, Mia Goth's great in it though. Like, I love the career she's carving out for herself of just doing these insane movies.
Yeah, I think she's a bright star.
She's like, really good
in movies. Like, I think she's, like you said, she's got a great like list of movies to her name already.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's some that are like almost immediate classics, basically.
Yeah, like X and Pearl. Like that's the first time in a while that like there's been some solid original horror movies that have come out that have been loved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's going to be a trilogy by the end of this year. It's like insane how quick that all came together.
Crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, she's great because she's doing a proper English accent in this movie as well. So it's interesting to hear her like that with a little squeaky cute voice she has.
Cool.
And she gets some great bits to just be like kind of crazy. So it's fun.
Nice one.
Yeah, I would recommend it though.
Well, yeah, very good.
Don't know if Stacey will like it.
No,
I wouldn't watch it.
My next one, I guess. Let's have a look. Ironically, I watched this again the other day. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
What's that on? The 13th one, right?
Yeah, pretty much at this point. I don't even know. The one after Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I know about
They all sound like, I said before, they all sound like Tom Clancy books.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They really do.
Yeah.
But you know what? I really enjoyed it. It's mental, but I had no expectations. I downloaded it and just thought it was one that I just thought, I'll just chuck it on while we're eating tea or something. It was one of them films. And I enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought it was just daft enough, but just clever enough at the same time. It's like, goddamn that Tom Cruise.
I know,
like,
you fucking hate to love him, don't you?
Always bringing you back in.
Yeah.
But I think it's really, it's better than people give it credit for. I believe it randomly flopped at the box office, because I think people were just not going to the cinema that week or something.
What was it not like? Did it not come out either just before or just after the whole Barbenheimer thing?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So I think that kind of compounded it. It might have been just before it.
Yeah, because I remember people saying those... I remember people saying those were the three movies that were going to, like, save cinema last year, and it ended up just being Barbie and Oppenheimer.
It's weird, because obviously Tom Cruise was still riding high off his, like, Top Gun... Maverick thing, like people he was back in like people's favour a bit, so but yeah, I recommend it. I really do recommend it as just an easy watch. It's long, I will say that.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours 40 minutes or something.
4 years
I think
long.
It's so. Yeah, if I was going to be brutally hard on the film, I would say it's probably 20 minutes too long at least.
Yeah.
And you do feel it at times, but when it's good, it's really tense, and the action's good, and there's some good humour in it and stuff.
Who's the villain in this one? Because I know he likes like kind of high profile bad guys in these movies.
Well, technically it's the AI is the villain in it. They're doing a bit of a technology thing. There's a guy who I think he was in the first Mission Impossible movie. They kind of bring back a legacy character who's called like Gabriel. Can't remember who the actor is. He's one of them guys. I'm probably going to Google him and be like, fuck, he's in like every film that I know. Let's have a look. Mission Impossible. Obviously, what's crazy about it, just an accent. It's a two-parter, obviously.
That's what I was thinking. A bit flopped. Like, they're like, oh fuck.
I'm sure Tom Cruise will just foot the bill for the sequel either way.
Fucking the guy who runs Scientology to give him some money.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. He's obviously he's a Latino actor, Asai Morales.
Don't recognise your name.
Who's NYPD Blues. Just looking down his IMDb, I don't recognise him as being in massive stuff. He's in Curbing Your Enthusiasm for one episode, apparently. But there you go. But yeah, I suppose the overall thing is like it's supposed to be AI. That's kind of the bad guy. So it does stuff that's like kind of believable. You could see that AI could be used as a weapon and stuff, and how it could come about. It's very like Skynet-y stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recommend it. Keep an eye out for it, and I don't know, it's one of them films. Maybe just watch it in a few bits.
I will.
Tea or something.
Yeah, it's always just people are always saying like, "You haven't seen the Mission Impossibles?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, it's a funny franchise, isn't it? Like, I don't know, it's just been going for so long now at this point. It's insane. I really recommend the first Mission Impossible movie, to be honest.
Well, I think that's it, because when that came out, all I saw were reviews saying it's fucking boring, and I was like, oh, well, I won't bother. So, like, every subsequent one, no matter how action-packed they look, I've always just got this residual feeling of the first one and going, nah, not going to bother.
I think the first one's mind-blowingly complex in terms of like the camera work and the directing and stuff.
Oh,
that's a very pretty movie.
That one was directed by fucking Brian De Palma, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And there's just loads of Dutch angles, loads of like crazy colour work going on, and it's really clever visual stuff going on in that.
It's
movie.
An insane series though. Like early on, especially, like what other film series can say the first two movies were directed by Brian De Palma and John Woo?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Mike, have you watched any of those Kenneth Branagh Poirot movies he's been doing over the past few years? Like he's done Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and the newest one was Haunting in Venice, which I watched.
No, I haven't. I know. I think you enjoyed the
first,
the train one. Didn't
you? I thought Death on the Nile was pretty good as well. And I was surprised by how much I liked that, because I'm sure I read there was something that like it got delayed loads due to COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw something that Kenneth Branagh at one point said, "Oh fuck it, I don't even want to release it," or something like that. And I thought, oh shit, I was like, shit, is it bad? It's one of those train wrecks, but it was fine. Haunting in Venice was pretty good. It's probably tied with the Orient Express one, but maybe I like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think I was expecting something else with this. Like I'd heard it was more of a horror movie, with it being about like quote unquote ghosts in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's got some like great cinematography. Like I love how he makes everyone look. It's not like they just have this generic style. Each one feels like a different movie type of thing. Different genre, different style of movie.
What about the cast? Because I know they probably changed somewhat, but does it have carryovers from each film to film?
I don't think this one does. The first two do.
Yeah.
He's got like a...
I know it's like Gal Gadot and stuff. Gal Gadot.
She was in the second one, yeah.
Yeah.
This one has Michelle Yeoh in it.
Yeah.
Tina Fey from Saturday Night Live and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same... Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to double check. I think it's not the Skarsgård that plays Pennywise, his brother.
The other Skarsgård.
Yeah, there's too many.
There's so many.
Too many Skarsgårds taking over Hollywood.
They're all talented, handsome-looking fuckers.
Yeah. Because he was in Infinity Pool as well. He's the lead in
cool.
Infinity Pool. Hold on, I'll just quickly check.
Is it the guy from True Blood and stuff, or is that somebody else?
No, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haunting. This fucking show's just going to be called Let's Google That. All right, no, I was just wrong on all counts. Oh, well, I'll cut that out.
It's not even like a Skarsgård.
No.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. And Branagh's a really good Poirot, I think. He's got his own spin on it, which is quite nice.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like, Kenneth Branagh. I don't know. He's just another guy that's got a strange career.
He does.
Like doing like a Thor movie.
Yeah, every now and then I'll just remember that he directed Thor, and I'm like, what the fuck? Then like obviously it made sense, being the most like Shakespearean, I guess, of the lot of them, with the dynamic with the father and all that. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, because he has done a lot of Shakespeare. I can see why they probably asked him to do this.
I just imagine that they'll have met over dinner, Kenneth Branagh, two Disney execs, and he's went, look, before we get started, gentlemen, I don't have any interest in doing your little Marvel or superhero movie. And then they just slid a check across the table, and he went, like, I'm suddenly very interested.
That's good, man. Are you interested in this?
That's exactly how that dinner meet went, basically.
They basically just put a check on the table with a 1 on it, and they were just like, add the zeros, baby.
Yeah. Like I cannot see him being massively interested in like the idea of a Thor movie. Surely not, but could. You look it up, you might be a hardcore Marvel nerd. Could be, yep. He could be. I don't know. Maybe it was Hopkins. Hopkins was on board right from the start. Yeah. He's like, Kenneth, I think you should do this movie. He just shouted at him. Yeah, just yelled at him down the phone until he did it. Yeah.
What about you? So what next? I've only got one more, really.
Well, we'll touch on. I suppose this is the year that superhero movies finally died.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out.
I did start watching that.
It was the better of the bunch. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I've never really been massively on board with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
No.
It's all just fucking stupid purple space stuff. Fucking talking raccoon. Stupid. No. Only kidding. Sci-fi is very much in my wheelhouse, obviously.
Yeah.
And, space and adventure and stuff. But, I don't know, I just never really got on board with the idea for whatever reason. Maybe, I don't know, the casting, the way the films were made, the comedy, maybe the humour didn't land with us. But I didn't hate the movie, though. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. Because I think, I'm just trying to think in my head, what are the shady... Obviously, there's the Marvels, which I didn't watch.
No.
But I think it's worth just saying that's one of the biggest flops of all time, pretty much. Was it 43 million they lost or something making it? It was something insane.
I mean, obviously the fucking budget was probably over 100 million. So
yeah, it was. It was certainly the biggest flop of 2023. But it's very high up in terms of the biggest flops of movies. I don't think one of the superhero movies came out because I feel there was quite a few.
The second Spider-Verse movie came out last year.
Yeah, of course. Which I'm kind of thinking in my head live action. I'll keep that for separate because that is on my list.
Yeah.
But live action-y wise, The Flash, of course. The Flash.
Oh yeah, The Flash.
Just touch on The Flash a little bit.
I don't think there was any more Marvel ones though. I think it was mainly just Disney Plus stuff.
I'm sure there was probably one more.
There was the Loki series and.
Yeah, quite possibly.
She-Hulk. She-Hulk was the year before, right?
Yeah. I didn't hate The Flash, to be honest, as much as what some people were going off on it.
I still haven't watched it yet.
It's alright. I think you've got to see it for the Batman stuff.
Oh yes, that's the only reason I want to see it.
And that's obviously what they did with that movie. They saw oh my god, we need something for this film, otherwise it's going to stink.
After Batman vs Superman and Justice League, they were like, no one wants to see a Flash movie. And they're like, what if we got Michael Keaton back? Well, yeah.
So yeah, and it is worth it for those bits with Michael Keaton in it. It's definitely worth it.
That's good.
Yeah, so I would recommend it. And, I'm sure you'll see it at some point. Just for the Michael Keaton stuff.
I'm just waiting for it to come on Sky, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to do all the superhero-y bits in one go there, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely a turning point.
Oh yeah.
For superhero movies, I think Disney and DC are gonna have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and think, okay, fuck, people aren't wanting this anymore.
Buy the fucking rights to He-Man or something, start He-Man universe, do something.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen next. I mean, I feel like action films and horror films might be ready for a resurgence.
Hopefully, Jesus.
But yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what the next big trend is, basically, after superheroes. It feels like this has been the longest period in cinema.
It's fucking been over 20 years.
Yeah, well, that's been the reigning thing where, you've always had westerns, war movies.
Not 20 years. When the fuck did Iron Man come out? 2008?
2007, 8,
something like that,
yeah. So you're not far off 20 years. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be crazy. But yeah, go on, what about you? Next one.
Light one now, the Haunted Mansion movie.
Oh, really?
It was fun.
Yeah,
fun. I really like Rosario Dawson in it. It's got a really good cast, like Danny DeVito's in it, Jamie Lee Curtis. But just a lot of films in general, and a lot of light-hearted films now. It was fucking half an hour too long. By the last 30 minutes, I was kind of and I think by the end there was a few points I was like, what happened? Because I was kind of drifting in and out. But it's fun. If you want something light to watch around the Halloween period, it's fun.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, is it a sequel or?
No, it's like a reboot of the Eddie Murphy one that came out 10 years ago.
Right. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's maybe what I'm thinking. Like, is it something, a follow-on to something? Yeah, remake. Yeah, well, I'll have to check it out at some point, though. Like I said the other day, I don't think we were recording a show, but I really like Jamie Lee Curtis. You can't go wrong with Jamie Lee Curtis, can you? Ever. So it's
kind of the same with Rosario Dawson. Even if whenever she's in something, I'm like, oh, at least I'm in safe hands with her, at least.
yeah, definitely. It's like probably one of the main reasons why I stuck with the Ahsoka TV show, to be honest. I was just like, go on then. Keep watching it.
There's something about Rosario Dawson's, she's gorgeous and stuff, but something about her in Haunted Mansion, she's just like really dressed down and mumsy, and I was like, I was like, oh, she's never looked better.
Just push my buttons, this is.
Plaid skirts and frilly blouses and stuff, and I'm like, oh, Rosario, calm down.
It's just your specific.
I didn't realise it was one of your specifics. Apparently it is. Dressed like a math teacher.
Yeah, I feel like I've got like 20 more. So
dear.
I'll rattle through them.
Fucking trim the fat, come on.
I'm like, I didn't see any movies. I'm like, I've seen tons. I would probably say Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was my like top movie of 2023, if I'm being honest. I think it was really, really good. I love the first one, as you know, anyway.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I was crazy for it. Like, it blew me away. I think it did everything that Disney and people have been trying to do for the last 10 years, and like diversity and inclusion and representation. I think it shows different cultures and stuff really well. And the storyline's really good, and it just kind of repeats it again in the sequel. Really, the animation's like really amazing and stuff, and I feel like it did the multiverse stuff like really, really well. So I massively recommend it.
Yeah, basically. I didn't see any negativity about it. It kind of just came out. People said it's as good as the first one, and then that was kind of it. So
yeah, I think that's it. It's like it doesn't necessarily top the first movie. It's just more of the same, basically, if that's a criticism of it, maybe. But it's just like really, really strong movie. I really enjoyed it.
I'll have to watch it because it is available now on Sky and shit. So
yeah, definitely. Just keeping with animation, Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Oh shit, I forgot about that movie. Yeah.
Again, I was surprised. I was kind of like arms crossed skeptical going into it. Because, like, Turtles, I mean, what can they do with Turtles these days? Yeah. They just keep kind of fucking it up. I just think it's maybe a franchise that should have just stayed in the 90s.
Yeah, probably.
If I'm being honest, or the 80s and 90s. But it was, they did something different. The Turtles were, like, a bit younger, so they were more like young teens.
Yeah.
And they came across really well. They weren't, like, obnoxious. They were goofy and stuff. But I thought the humour worked really well. So and the animation style's really crazy. It's a bit off the wall. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like Tim Burton-esque in some ways. Like, things are like kind of distorted.
Don't say
stuff.
That. It makes nothing watch it.
Yeah, I know. I just think that as I said it, but it's the only way I can really describe it. It's a bit skew-iff. Slightly at times. Still a bit weird. I won't give it a free pass for Jackie Chan being.
I was going to say how was
Jackie
Chan is split.
It is fine, but I just think like Ninja, Jackie Chan, come on, movie. You can do better than that.
Should have got fucking Kitano to be Splinter. That would have been nice. Scary Splinter.
Just totally stoked and stuff. So not too bad. I definitely recommend checking that out though. And again, on the animation, Super Mario Brothers came out this in 2023 as well.
Yeah, I thought that was the year before. Christ, did it come out? It must have come out start of the year, something. Sure.
Early-ish. Yeah. Again, that was one of them films that was a massive hit, like a surprise, I think, for a lot of people. I don't think anybody was expecting it to bomb or anything because it's Mario, obviously. Yeah. But I think like a lot of people went to see that movie, basically. Yeah. Like, a lot. To the point where I think, unfortunately, it is going to launch like video game movies a little bit in 2024 into 2025.
Well, I think the next one's out this year. And there's another Sonic movie this year. So.
Yeah, and Disney, Nintendo, they're already talking about Zelda and stuff.
Aye.
I've definitely seen them, like, the rumblings of a Zelda movie and maybe a Metroid movie and things.
Well, a Zelda animated movie could be pretty epic.
Yeah, if done right, yeah, definitely. Mario, it's not bad though. I'll say that its biggest crime is it's a very, very safe movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything surprising or different or original. It's just, Mario needs to beat Bowser and there's some light-hearted jokes. The princess obviously is like a modern sort of princess. She's not the damsel in distress. I guess they had to do that, obviously.
Yeah.
And so it's there. It happened. It's fine. Yeah. I'll probably never watch it ever again.
No.
To be fair. But speaking of which, Avatar: Way of the Water.
Oh yeah, fuck. Once again, forgot that came out because it just kind of came and went like a damp fart.
I haven't got enough time in my life to watch that film again. It's not necessarily that it was bad, it's just that it's like 4 bastard hours long, or however long. I doubt I will
ever watch that unless I'm literally forced to at gunpoint.
It's just like, it does nothing original.
Yeah.
It's just Avatar 1 again, but it's like in water this time. That's the difference. What the fuck? I can't believe they did that.
I can't remember if we mentioned this on the show, but I just remembered when the fucking story you said when you said you and Stacey were like in the car, ready to outside the cinema, ready to go see Avatar. Then you just went nah.
And just drove back home. There was just nothing driving me to see.
You just saw the time and was like, fuck it, let's go home.
Yeah, because I think I thought about it, like, we'll be coming out the cinema at like 20 to 1 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that. No. Yeah, I really couldn't recommend. Unless you really, really loved the first movie, then maybe that would be my recommendation. That's why you would see the sequel. If you just came out of watching the first film and thought, hey, it was alright.
Yeah, that was me pretty much.
Yeah, then it's like, fucking don't waste your time.
Well, I hope you're not a completionist when it comes to series, because you got about 5 more of them to look forward to.
Will they make another one? I mean, he has shot them back to back.
I think he shot at least like fucking 3 of them back to back. Yeah,
I just cannot believe it. Maybe there'll be one more that comes out, and the next one will get chopped up into a TV show and streaming. Well, I mean, like
we were talking a few weeks ago, just not on the show, but when we were just like, how much did it make? Did it do? And it did do a fuckload of money.
I think they made over $1 billion back. Yeah, or something from memory. But I think when we looked it up, we were shocked. Yeah. So,
because as far as my memory goes, like, I don't really pay attention to movies like that, but I'm aware of it from like being on social media, and it seemed like Avatar 2's coming out. And then that was it. No one was talking about it.
No.
Or anything like that. It was just like came and went. But it made a fucking $1 billion. So what do I know?
Crazy. Power of his name, I guess. People just go and see Jim Cameron movies still to this day.
I think honestly with that, it's just the power of Avatar, because when that came out, the first one was huge. Like, it was one of those weird, like, fucking there's something in the water phenomenons where like everyone was like, have you heard that Avatar is the greatest film of all time? And I'm like, have you fucked off?
Totally.
Like that weird hive mindset where people are like, it is the best film because it's made the most money.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
I know, like, I casually went to the cinema to watch it, and there was a queue to get in the cinema, and I was like kind of shocked and surprised. I was like, what? Like, I'd never seen people queuing to get in a cinema for like years since I was like a little kid.
The weird, like, almost subtle marketing and like just everything for that movie was weird. It was just weird. I was just like, especially for that time, I guess. And it was around about the time, I don't know, when the fuck did Avatar come out? Like 2009?
Yeah, it's probably something like 2001 or something.
Probably.
I'm like, oh.
It was just weird. Just a film, just like no one really knows what it is. Like, yeah, James Cameron's a big name, but not to your, like, average person.
No, not.
And this was like everyone in the fucking granddad was going to see Avatar. It was a bizarre fucking...
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones stuff in it, basically.
Yeah, where you just like everyone likes this one thing that's almost seems like quite a specific niche of a film.
Yeah. It was 2009. I've just had a quick look. Yeah, so there you go. So yes, moving swiftly on. Yeah. I've only got a few more, to be fair. Megan came out this year.
Yeah, I meant to watch that. I never watched it. Bollocks.
It's a fun film. It kind of satirises the genre a little bit. There's some like a bit of in jokes, like people saying it's almost like Joe Dante sort of taking the piss out of Gremlins and Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Not totally to that degree, but there's just moments where it touches on that. But it's a decent movie, and the Megan, the titular antagonist, she's pretty cool in it and stuff. I like the idea. It's just child's play. Let's face it.
Yeah, like a modern spin on child's play. Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked it, to be fair. I would probably buy a toy of Megan if NECA do a Megan figure.
Yeah, I'm sure they will at some point.
Yeah. I definitely recommend it though.
Yeah, I'll be meaning to watch that since it came out. I'm shit at watching films.
I think did Cocaine Bear come out in 2023? I've noted it down, but it's either late 2022 or.
Yeah, it was either very early or late, because I remember they did a joke about it at the Oscars early last year, so it was either early or late. I don't know.
I watched it this year, anyway. And did you watch Cocaine Bear?
No, I never got around to it.
It's a similar sort of vein to Megan, where it's like kind of lampoons the genre a little bit, but actually there's some really cool stuff in there, and it's quite enjoyable film, to be fair. So
yeah, that's kind of the only way because it is based on like a true story, but it's like it's the best kind of true story where you can have fun with it because it's a bear on cocaine.
Yeah, and it's just totally over the top.
Yeah,
and
that's kind of what
the gore and violence is nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was hoping for. Yeah, just a fucking insane movie that like lives up to its title.
Yeah. Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
I was almost tempted to just, when I was over at my parents, to just suggest we chuck it on just for a laugh. Subject my parents to it, but just because it's so over the top at times. Renfield, I saw Renfield this year. Won't go into it too much because I know obviously you'll want to watch it, but again, very similar. It's at times like insanely gory and stuff. It's really cool film. I enjoyed it. I think Nicolas Cage continues to have a mental career, although he's not in it a massive amount.
No, I've heard it's kind of like a very small, almost an extended cameo kind of role.
But yeah, good film. I would definitely recommend that.
He's had a good few years, Nicolas Cage, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. It's crazy. The one film that I haven't quite gotten round to is it called Dream Scenario?
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah,
I really want to watch that. I've got it. It's on my list to watch.
Is that like based on that internet thing? There was like a sort of, not a meme, but sort of like a prank thing where there's like people saying, "Oh, I keep seeing these leaflets all over town." It was just a guy's like a photo fit, just saying, "Have you seen this man in your dreams?"
Oh yeah.
And they were like, but it was like a
that
sort of group effort, so people in like different countries would post them and pretending they were all around town, but it was just fake.
Trying to get it like viral.
Yeah, pretty much like a viral campaign, for something. Yeah. But I was wondering if it was based on that idea.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think I did see something in, like, based on something or other. Yeah, like when I was reading about it on IMDb. Yeah. The Jennifer Lawrence movie, No Hard Feelings.
Yeah.
Not tempted by that one.
No, I am. I'm just I know why you watched it.
That's all. I've seen that scene. Good film. Basically,
to be honest, I was surprised when that came out because I was like, okay, the plot's fucking mental for now. It seems like a very 80s teen plot, very bawdy. And I was like, a fucking A-lister starring in it, and she produced it. And she was just like, I'm going to get stark bollock naked and wrestle people on a beach.
That's very strange.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, she plays like an obnoxious twat who you kind of come round to liking by the end of the film and stuff. So it's a good film. Again, I would recommend it.
It looked like a nice back to basics type of bawdy comedy.
It does. It's very like in the realms of like American Pie-ish, sort of in that sort of realm of stuff. So. Not quite American Pie, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend that. Trying to think on my list is I've written Devil Conspiracy, but I was thinking which one's Devil Conspiracy?
The hell's Devil Conspiracy?
It was a really low budget movie about angels trying to take over the earth, evil angels and stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't very good.
Okay. Leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. I think I've just wrote it down, thinking, no, I might come back to that, but I can't remember shit about it there, so I've made just a few names, a list of films that I want to watch from 2023. Is there any that you didn't get around to watching?
Yeah,
high on your list.
Megan and Renfield. Beau Was Afraid, the Ari Aster one with Joaquin Phoenix. Even though it is like over 3 hours long. Mm-hmm. And I've heard
it's very like, it cuts people's opinions in half. Like you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Yeah. I think there probably is a few more.
For me, there's obviously probably top of my list at the moment is Godzilla -1. I'm really interested in seeing that.
Because that just literally came up right at the end of the year, didn't it? Yeah, I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of praise and stuff.
Is it like is it a prequel to the original Godzilla movie? Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's like Godzilla before he was famous, almost sort of thing. From what I understand, I've tried to stay away from like a lot of stuff, just so I don't get anything spoiled. But I've just heard it's very, very good, and there's some really cool scenes in it. The Godzilla bits are very good.
Because it's a Japanese Godzilla movie, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. And again, very back to basics type of movie. I think people are praising it for like, you don't have to go mental with it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like people are like praising the movie for it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Outlaw Johnny Black.
Was it even out in America yet? Because it is technically like it's been made for a while. It was just like you started talking about like the release of it last year. So but I really want to see that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I did have Rebel Moon on my list.
And then you watched it?
Because I just wanted to watch it. But yes, I watched 50 minutes of it and just couldn't stomach it at all, to be fair. Yeah. Fucking boring disaster of a movie. Just doesn't do anything interesting. And it just rips Star Wars off like too much.
That's what I thought when I saw the trailer. I thought, but before I knew what it was, I was like, "What's this? Some new Disney Plus Star Wars series?"
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, obviously, I know the kind of the backstory to some degree. I know that it was like based on a script that was being chopped around for like an R-rated Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
And Disney were like, nah, and like at the last minute decided they didn't want to run with the story because it wouldn't work, and so you basically just went off and made the film anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like how the film came about, basically. So you can see there's like, but that's a problem. If you're not going to do a Star Wars movie, don't just go away and make it because it's just a Star Wars movie, but not Star Wars. If you know what I mean. So like, there's an evil empire, there's a lovable rogue, there's a peaceful robot. It's just like so fucking formulaic and grim.
Yeah.
I think there's like a 20-minute scene where the character she's like an innocent farmer, and the bad guys arrive, and the bad guys are like punching puppies and stuff, to like establish that they're like super evil, and then she just batters them all. And then they're like, oh my god, and she's like, I've got a secret past. And for 20 minutes, it's just a whole exposition scene about how much of a badass she is, and she's had all this training and stuff. Yeah. And it just turns you off. You're just like, it's repeating the same problem that Rey in the new Star Wars trilogy had. Having a super capable character that is never in any danger, it doesn't really make a compelling character.
Not really, no.
Unless you're doing a Superman movie or something.
Unless it's something like Superman, where that's the point.
Yeah. So it's just like, you just already know what you're in for. This woman that can just kick absolute arse throughout the entire movie, and there's no arc to her character at all.
No.
So it's like, ugh. So yeah, I couldn't like recommend you don't watch that enough, to be honest.
Well, you got the second one to look forward to this year, so...
Have they made it?
It's already. I think they shot them all back to back because it's already listed on Netflix as like coming soon. So
I mean, all the hunger in the world. What a fucking waste of money! Like God, stop wasting money, Hollywood.
Like I'm not a massive Zack Snyder hater. Like he's good at what he does in a way. Like visually, he's always interesting. Like say what you want about the story and like some of the decisions in that Batman v Superman movie, but like when it's Batman and Superman fighting, it's great.
Yeah.
That's like kind of what you want to say. But I would love to see it, like, if just give Zack Snyder a fucking pure drama script set in like 3 locations, see what happens.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd be able to do it. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't be able to have his shitty slow motion that he always uses.
Yeah. It'd be people like making a cuppa in slow motion.
Or maybe he would. Yeah. Maybe he would do that. He does like inappropriate slow motion. Yeah. So
someone having a piss in slow motion.
For like 10 minutes. Yeah. I'm trying to think though. just to cap off the like shitty movie discussion, did we talk about Indiana Jones?
No, I was going to bring that up next because that's it last on my list. I kind of included it, but like I still never finished it. It's My Rebel Moon. I got 50 minutes in and we're like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, it's just again, and maybe that's what I was thinking of. When we're talking about Marvel movies and stuff. Maybe I'm just thinking in my head like disastrous Disney movies.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's weird though because I was like, it was almost split down the middle. The fan reaction. Some people were saying like, "Oh, it's so fun. It feels like the magic of days gone by again." So I was like, "Okay." Then other people were like, "It's dog shit." And I'm like, "All right, well, I don't know."
Yeah.
And I wasn't in the middle because I was kind of leaning more to the negative side. But I was just like I was saying the other night, like when you watch the original films when you were a kid, like the reason they were exciting is because the crazy stunts and big sets were like actually real and it was actually happening.
Yeah.
You put that same character in a bunch of CGI and it's just like, where's the excitement now? Like, it's fine in a movie where, like, a fucking Marvel movie, because they've always been like that. Mm-hmm. But when you compare, like, this one to, like, the tank chase at the end of Raiders or something, you're just like,
yeah, there's just something lost in that. I still hold true that, like, CGI isn't quite there, and if anything, it's taken a step back since The Mandalorian, because I think that technology where it's, like, it's not a set.
Oh, it's at the dome back rear projection type of thing.
Yeah, they're not on location, I mean, and it's like, it's just a set, but it's like a set that makes it look like they're really on location.
Yeah.
It's okay, and it can be used really well in certain settings, but it's not as good as what they think it is.
No.
And I think, like, people now, well, Hollywood's like convinced itself you don't need to be on location to make it look good or something. It's like, no, you definitely need to be on location still for like a lot of your movies. I mean, going back to Mission Impossible, is a lot of that is on location stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, the wind's blowing and trees are moving in the background and it looks fucking real.
That is one thing I'll give Tom Cruise credit for. He does like to do things for real as much as possible. Like, that's why the crazy bastard's like in his fucking 60s jumping out of helicopters and shit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's like real motorbikes and real cars. And then it's just enhanced with CGI.
Mm-hmm. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, the best way to do it, yeah.
But when you have people just in totally 3D environments and stuff, and that's just like, it loses some of the luster, definitely.
It's just that bit where, like, the sort of gun turret falls on its side and starts shooting up the entire train. Mm-hmm. Like, that's supposed to feel like a big set piece, but I was genuinely just like, whatever. I just didn't care. Yeah. It was a fucked up feeling to watch, like, an Indiana Jones movie and get to a big action scene and just not care.
Just because it's just a cartoon, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And, like, the CGI, like, wasn't great either.
No.
And plus, you've got fucking weird fucking Uncanny Valley young Harrison Ford running around as well, which was just distracting every time he like moved his fucking head.
Like floaty head.
Yeah.
So I said last time we talked about this, like in stills it looks amazing. Mm-hmm. But then when it's like moving footage, you're like, oh,
yeah. Look, I said there was one bit where I'm assuming he was supposed to look surprised, but he just looked like, yeah. And he just had the weirdest look on his face. But yeah, I think like we talked about before the other night, like not on the show, but my main beef with it was just the usual skip forward in time. He's Indiana Jones, he's alone, he's miserable, he hates his life, he's drinking in the morning, and it's just like, can we just like bring back an old character and not have his his future life be shit, please?
So weird, isn't it? That so weird.
I gotta feel like if you go to a fucking writer's office and they're plotting out this movie and you go, well, why not just like, I don't know, why can't he just be running his own museum now and then he gets an adventure? They'd go, what the fuck, where'd that come from? Because that's not where the mind is, apparently. They're always just like, right, okay, so step one, miserable.
Yeah. I mean, it undoubtedly it would happen with any franchise that gets brought back at this point. So, like, if we do see a Lethal Weapon resurgence at some point, you know for a fact everybody's dead and the main characters are miserable.
Fucking Lethal Weapon 5 would literally start with Murtaugh going, I can't believe Riggs actually committed suicide. Like, oh, great. And it's a flashback.
Yeah, totally. It's just all misery.
It cuts and he's just in his caravan, Lorna's left him, his kids have died, and he's just got the gun in his mouth again. We're like, okay, fuck, what the fuck?
Yep. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't want to see any more franchises be brought back. I'm just like, I'm alright.
Please stop. Yeah, because they've got like one fucking idea, and that's he's old and miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like I said, it fucking cuts and he wakes up in his underpants and shouts at those darn kids next door for playing the music too loud. And I'm like, fuck me.
And don't forget, this is the year where, well, sorry, not the year, but the last few years where we saw the Picard TV show.
Aye. Yeah.
Where they just did exactly that.
Yeah.
You know, they brought back the character Picard, and he's just like, I'm old and fucking miserable now. And it's like, oh, Jesus, this is fun. And like I think it's the second season, centres around him basically crying over the death of his mum who killed herself when he was a young boy. Like, what the fuck? He wants to say that? Mental.
I don't know what it is. Everyone just likes wallowing in misery these days in movies. Like you said a while ago, like, where are all the fucking uplifting happy movies these days? Like, we need some hope these days, man.
Yeah. Maybe that's the next trend.
Well, I've been waiting for it for like 3 years.
Yeah. I will say though, I won't go through it one by one, but I will say it's been a really good year for TV overall.
I'm not even sure if I've watched any new series this year.
Yeah, I don't feel like you have actually. No. But like, I'll just rattle them off. But you've got like The Last of Us.
Oh fuck yeah, that was last year. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, Reservation season 3. Reservation Dogs season 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Bear season 2. Ted Lasso season 3. Shrinking with Harrison Ford. Mm-hmm. I really recommend that show. One Piece. Mm-hmm. Netflix was massive success for them. Righteous Gemstones season 3. Mm-hmm. Jury Duty with James Marsden.
Oh yeah,
really good comedy. Even Picard, I mean, I joked about it, but with Picard season 3, they were like, oh right, so fans don't want to see a fucking miserable Picard, so they went back to, right, Picard gets the gang together and they go on a mission, and it was a massive success for them, because that's what people wanted to see. Didn't want to see sad, miserable Picard wanting to commit suicide and stuff.
Yeah, like I'm never always for like just give everyone a very basic just fan service movie, but there's times where like that's what you've got to do.
Yeah, something like that, Star Trek and Picard and Data and the Enterprise, you just have to give the fans what they want, basically. Yeah. But you know, Strange New Worlds season 2, really strong second season for them. Lower Decks season 4. So Star Trek had a good year.
It did.
Julia had a second season, which I know it's not really in our wheelhouse, but it's a really cool show. Mm-hmm. Really well written and stuff.
Is that the one with Sarah Lancashire?
So, yeah, that's right, yeah. And Thingamajig, who plays Niles as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Frasier. Gen V, which is a really good show.
Oh, is that the Boys spin-off?
It is, yeah. I really recommend that, and it's a good setup for the next season of The Boys.
Yeah.
There's a British-made superhero TV show called Extraordinary, or Extraordinary, however you pronounce it. I don't know if that might be on Netflix. I'm tempted to say.
Yeah, I have seen it somewhere.
No, Disney. It's on Disney.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I recommend that. Really good. Kind of like a different spin on superheroes again. So yeah, overall I think it's just been a really strong year for TV, basically.
You listed all those shows, only thing I watched was Last of Us.
Yeah, well that's what I mean, I don't feel like you probably have. I feel like I've probably, rather than been watching movies this year, I've just been watching a lot of TV.
Anytime I'm watching a TV show, it's EastEnders.
Which isn't too bad.
And that's been a belter this year, so last year, it's quality.
Show.
So do you want to look forward to what's coming out next year?
Yeah.
I don't mean look forward as in get excited, I just mean generally look forward.
No, this would be interesting, because obviously I've not really done this, so it'll be more just me reacting.
I just thought I might as well, because we used to do this, I think, when we did wrap-up end-of-year shows, so
yeah.
I thought the show might have ran a bit short, but we've got a lot more to talk about. So there's only 2 films out of this list of, I don't know, 15, 16 movies that piqued my interest, kind of. First one, obviously, is Maxine, the third in the X series. And there's got a screening the other day, and I'd heard that it was going to be like a sort of a tribute to 80s slashers type of thing.
Yeah.
But the feedback coming out of the screening says it's very Dario Argento inspired, and has a lot in common with Fulci's New York Ripper. And I'm like in the violence department, like, what are they doing?
Christ.
that film, you know, it's still Fulci's most notoriously violent movie, so it could be quite grim. But yeah, the story is she's an actress now, the character from X, and just starring in an 80s slasher movie, and there's a serial killer on the loose at the time who becomes obsessed with her, and I'm like, that sounds very much like Italian giallo type of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Interesting.
Definitely. Yeah,
I still haven't watched Pearl.
Me either. No, I'll keep meaning to watch it.
Must watch it. Like,
because X was such a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. At the end of the movie, I had nothing bad to say about it. I was like, that was surprisingly a really, really good movie.
The other one, have you seen the trailer for that Civil War movie, the Alex Garland movie, the guy who did Ex Machina and Annihilation and stuff?
I don't think I have. No.
It's literally about a civil war in modern America. That could like a sort of what if scenario. And
really?
I'm like, that's a fucked up thing. Like. To make now.
yeah. Well, I mean, especially with this year ahead of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
politics and stuff's going to be on everyone's minds.
It'll be interesting to see how that's received when it comes out. But yeah, it's got Kirsten Dunst in it, and who's her husband again? Jesse Clemens, the guy from Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah.
He seems to be playing his usual character of unassuming but unhinged psycho soldier.
Nice.
Yeah, you should check out the trailer. I was very surprised by it. Yeah. And then when I saw it was by Alex Garland, I was like, okay, that's probably going to be good.
Yeah, I was going to say you're in safe hands there, aren't you? Really, because he's his films are always like compelling and make you think and stuff anyway, don't they? So and always like are well shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Ex Machina again. I fucking love that movie. It really caught us by surprise by how much I liked it.
Yeah, it's like really unsettling. It's got something running underneath it, that film.
Yeah. That's kind of actually what I was thinking when watching Infinity Pool. I was like, it's like the thing you always say, like there's just some films that just have like unease weaved into the fucking fabric of the movie, and that's kind of what that movie's like as well. Everything else from now on is either sequel, prequel, or remake.
Class. Well, I mean, that's what we live in now, isn't it? That's what Hollywood is.
It was just very depressing. So the first one, like the first two really of films, when I saw them, I was like, what? But mainly the first one. The first movie is called The First Omen, and it's a prequel to The Omen.
Oh, Jesus.
The First Omen. Here's the plot. A young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. So it's about how fucking Damien is born. Who cares? Who gives a fuck, man? Jesus Christ.
At what point are we going to get the Jaws prequel? Where it's like fucking sharks in a lab or something.
It's just it's a silent movie all underwater about sharks.
It's like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
It's just
isn't that part of what makes The Omen scary? Like, where did this kid come from? Why is he the devil's son?
It's the mystery, isn't it? Like, is he the devil's son?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is he just a kid with problems? Who knows? And but yeah, oh my god.
But the second one, like, I do think this could be fun. Do you remember the 80s TV show The Fall Guy with Lee Majors?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that they're making a live-action movie of that, directed by David Leitch, who did the John Wick movies and Bullet Train, starring Ryan Gosling in the Lee Majors role. Yeah. I think that could be fun.
Yeah, well, I like Gosling. I think he's cool.
Who doesn't like Gosling?
I know, he's just something very disarming about that.
Very, very handsome, talented bastard. Seems very likeable and down to earth. Doesn't seem like a Hollywood schmuck.
No.
But yeah, like that David Leitch guy, like great at like stunts and action scenes. So a film that's about a stuntman's going to have, because the TV show was like stunt of the week, kind of, pretty much. So the trailer looks kind of crazy. So I'm quietly looking forward to that. I think that could be fun. You've got Nosferatu, Robert Eggers' next movie with Dafoe and Skarsgård. I'm interested in that.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Dune Part 2 with old Timothy Champagne Pants. Fighting big worms again.
Did you see the first one yet?
Nope.
Did you get around to it? Like, oh God, talk about bloated.
I still need to make it through David Lynch's Dune before I watch this one. I want to compare them, but I've tried about 85 times to get through Lynch's Dune, and I just can't do it. It's
just so bland. So bland.
What, the remake?
The remake, yeah. It's just like... Maybe I'm biased because I really like the Lynch one and stuff.
You've always been a big fan of it. Since you were like 9.
So Dad came in the room and went, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "You shouldn't be watching that,
He's like, "What's this, Star Wars?" "That's not Star Wars, what the fuck's this?"
Saying like some guy getting warts lanced on his face.
Yeah. It's just like, wait a minute, is that Sting?
But it's like they removed all the good bits from that movie and turned the saturation down and then put Jason Momoa in it, and boom, you've got the Dune remake.
And then let us guess, added an extra hour.
Yeah, and added an extra hour, even though it's only part one.
I was going to say, does the first movie not cover all of the first, like the Lynch movie story-wise? Or have they like gone a different direction and adapted it?
No, so the Dune Part 1 kind of takes you up to halfway through the Lynch movie. Yeah. So I mean, the Lynch movie, probably the biggest problem about the Lynch movie is that it just crams everything in like that. It's like, oh, right, you've got spice, you've got the House Harkonnen, you've got the Evil Baron. It just, like, it races at 1,000,000 miles
an hour. That's why I can never get into it, because I get to about an hour in when they're in, like, the spaceship, and then I just went... What are they doing?
Where are they going?
Yeah, and that's when I went, I'm going to have to stop this and start again sometimes because I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. To be fair, it probably needed to be 2 movies, I guess.
Yeah.
But
back then they didn't do that.
No, but then like with this one, ironically, they're like, right, we're 2 movies, but we're going to make them Lord of the Rings-esque in length.
Yeah, because everything has to be at least 3 hours now. If it's over $100 million, it has to be 3 hours. Stupid. Next, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I'll see it. I'm not shitting myself about it.
I'm interested. The trailer didn't make us do backflips or anything.
No, it just kind of looked like more the same, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that Anna Taylor fucking Joy.
I thought you were for some reason.
No. I liked her in the menu.
Yeah, she's great in the menu.
Yeah, I like her in the menu, but maybe it's just I hate the witch so much.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought you would like the witch.
No, I very much dislike that movie.
I thought you liked her in that. What was that fucking show she got big from?
That chess one,
the Queen's Gambit or something.
Yeah. I did, but it's one of those famous things that I do where I watched like. Basically, like I can't remember how long the season was, but I watched like 9 out of 10 episodes, and then just got to episode 9 was like, that's enough.
Brian came out and you were like, that's enough.
Stacey's always like forever joked about it, going like, oh, we'll probably get to like the penultimate episode, he'll just be like, nah.
Imagine doing that during a movie, like you get 5 minutes from the end, you just go, that's enough.
Totally. So yeah, not to this day have I finished that TV show.
You know what? That's what we should just rename the show at this point. That's enough.
That's enough.
Deadpool 3 with Jackman back as Wolverine. That'll be fun. I'll see.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff in that movie that they can cram in, that they can take the piss out of.
Of course, yeah. I'm sure it'll be full of in-jokes and meta-humour and all that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Joker Folie à Deux, a.k.a. Joker 2.
Yeah, with thingamajig,
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I could see that. It's one of them things where your initial reaction is like, oh, fuck off, Lady Gaga playing like Harley Quinn. But I think that could be a surprise, and that's
is it still going to be a musical? That was the original idea, wasn't it?
I think there's aspects to it, yeah. Okay. I think there's like a whole scene or something that's all musical or something.
Okay, because when it was first announced, it was like, oh yeah, it's going to star Lady Gaga and it's going to be a musical. I was like, oh, that's a leap.
Oh dear. No, like I said, I'm quietly interested in that one.
I still haven't seen the first one, so don't care. Stupid. Alien Romulus, you looking forward to the midquel?
Like alien films can fuck off. I know, to be honest.
I only watched the first two. What was the last one called? Alien fucking Volivants or something.
You've caught us now.
Alien
Covenant.
Let's just call it Alien Deception. That sounds good.
Bloodlines.
That'll be the next one. I only watched the first 20 minutes of that one and then just went, you know what, I just don't care.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, I'm sure I've probably said this on the show before, but Aliens hasn't been good since fucking 1986, basically, at this point. Yeah. Like, let's not kid ourselves. They just haven't made a decent Aliens movie since, like, Jim Cameron did it. No. So, like, Alien 3, don't get us wrong, I don't hate Alien 3. No. But it's a very troubled movie.
No, like, if you, like, put it this way, if your house was on fire and you could only save a few Alien movies, it would be the first two.
Yeah, you're not going to grab the Alien 3
disc. You'd feel a little sad about Alien 3, but you'd be like, I don't need it.
Exactly.
Because I was going to say, like, pack it in, Ridley, but this one's actually directed by Fede Alvarez, who did, like, Don't Breathe and the Evil Dead remake. So,
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because he redeemed himself for me with Don't Breathe, because I enjoyed that. Did you ever watch that?
No, but I've heard it's very good.
No, it's very good, yeah. It's very tense. Yeah. Beetlejuice 2, once again, don't care.
Nah. Yeah, Dally. Like, nope. What's the point?
Here's an interesting one I had no idea about, and it's quite funny. Did you know there's a remake of Twister coming out? Do you know what it's called, though?
Trying to think, is it called like F5 or something?
No, it's called Twisters.
Twisters.
They've gone,
aliens.
They've gone plural, yeah. And I was like, you know what? I kind of respect that, because normally they always try and make it singular or take the off. But no, they've went the aliens route.
Mental.
Hey, it could be a sign. Aliens is great. Maybe this is going to be the aliens of the Twister franchise.
No Paxton, no. Sadly. So.
I don't think there's any, from what I saw, there's like no cameos or roles. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think so. I think it's kind of just separate.
It's weird. Crazy. What a film to remake.
I know.
Do a sequel to.
I know, it's bizarre. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be less interested in a Ghostbusters movie.
I know.
I watched that trailer. I was like, is this a fan trailer? And then I was like, this is real. What the fuck? It just totally passed us by that it was being made.
It's such a strange one. It is. I think the first time I was aware it was happening was when I saw a news story that was like, oh yeah, they're filming in like, was it somewhere like round here or something, like in Manchester or something.
Oh, okay.
Sure, they were definitely in the UK filming anyway. And I was like, I hadn't even heard of it being made. That's weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
They're just keeping it really quiet. Yeah, we'll see. I didn't absolutely hate the last movie. I thought it was okay. I just thought it's ironic. It's kind of like what you were saying before. It's too much of a love letter to the franchise. And now that they've got that out the system, because like Ghostbusters Afterlife, the entire movie is just member berries, like pretty much. Yeah. That's my, and maybe I'm being over the top, but that's my memory of it. Every fucking scene is just, oh my god, it's this thing from the last movie and stuff. So now that they've got all that out the system, I wonder what they'll do now with the film, because surely they can't just do more member berries.
Now we're just going to reference Ghostbusters 2 or something, I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Because from that trailer, I could just tell that even though, the original cast came back at the end of the last one, I never saw it, but, I saw clips.
Yeah.
Just from that trailer for the new one, I was like, that's blatantly just cameos. They're going to get, like, trapped or die in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, basically.
Definitely, at least Bill Murray will.
Oh, yeah, he's not sticking around, is he? No. For the whole film, no way.
And Gladiator 2. Still can't believe they're doing Gladiator 2.
Yeah, again, that's like, just blows my mind. That's a thing.
I've literally seen Gladiator once when it came out on video. I've never had the urge to go back and watch it again.
Just proper dad movie.
It is. It was probably, for us, being the age we were when it came out, it was probably the last big dad film.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I think, honestly, my dad watched it and he told us he cried at the end. And I was like, fucking hell, really?
Like, you've never cried at anything. Like, probably not even my birth.
You didn't cry when I was born, but you cried at Gladiator. And other than that, the rest I just quickly put down. Sonic 3, Kung Fu Panda 4, Inside Out 2, Bad Boys 9, Lord of the Rings 11. There's some Lord of the Rings movie coming out, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know. God, can they not just let all that die now? I mean, look, after the TV show,
I always not blame, but credit Lord of the Rings for starting this whole every film must be fucking 3 hours long. If this Lord of the Rings is going to have to keep up and up its game with the movie, so this is going to at least be 5 hours long.
The tickets to the cinema are going to come with like a sleeping bag or something. Or something, I don't know. A bucket to pee in.
Fucking an hour long intermission so you can have a nap. Yeah, toilet breaks. So yeah, that's next year. I'm sure there's more. There's there's fucking shit like Kraven the Hunter and a few low-level Marvel movies coming out, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like I said, the bubble's definitely burst finally, I think.
Good. Fucking hell.
Like superhero-y stuff, I think they'll have to go back to basics.
It's just really sad. Like we've said before, when you go back and look at top highest-grossing movies from 1988, and they're 9 times out of 10 they're all original movies. And then you look back at any fucking top 10 from the past 10 years, and it's just all 90% Disney movies.
Yeah,
and you just say,
it's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
And what a negative impact they've had on the industry as well. That I mean, maybe it's not fully Disney's fault, but it's like that Joss Whedon-y feel, where it's like daft jokes and stuff.
Yeah, everything has to be and a comedy now.
Yeah, it's seeped in everything.
Yeah, because everyone just wants a piece of that fucking pie, don't they? So they go, oh, wait a minute, work for them, so let's make it funny as well as violent.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't hate the Marvel MCU stuff. It's fine. I find it entertaining. I'm just a bit sick of it. That's all. I've been a bit sick of it since about Endgame time.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and the clues in the title, Endgame.
Yeah.
It should have been. That should have been it for like a couple of years.
Yeah. So that's it, pretty much. That's everything. That's last year and the year to come.
Yeah, there's probably all sorts we've kind of missed.
Yeah, the show would have been on for like fucking 3 hours if it kept going. Because if we went through every movie coming out next year, I just thought the ones that are kind of noteworthy, I suppose.
Yeah.
No idea. We haven't really planned what we're doing this month. Don't know yet. So we're going to have a talk about that when we're finished recording. So.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So I hope everyone's had a nice New Year once again and Christmas.
Yes.
And tell us what your favourite films were of last year and what you're looking forward to. If you're looking forward to any of that shit we just mentioned next year.
Yeah. You never know. Like, no judgments here. You like what you like at the end of the day.
No, it's not. Yeah. I'm being brutal for the sake of being a dick. But, Deadpool 3 I want to see. Fall Guy looks fun. Civil War, Maxine. Like, there's a few films.
Yeah.
And probably still some that are about to be shot that are going to come out this year that I'll probably want to see. So, you never know.
Probably some Nick Cage movie will come out.
It'll be just weirdly amazing, yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fuck off.
Fuck off. That's enough.
That's enough.
So until next week, folks, I'll see you doing the pit.
See you in the heap.
Bye.
The Chris and Chris Show.